I'm trying to basically strengthen the sword, and the sword is resisting.
My name is Ethan Fisher. I'm the inventor and founder of Silly Clips. I'm currently 12 years old. I'm kind of more of the visionary. I just tried to make something that looked kind of like a silly band, and we all just looked at each other and were like, hey, this could really be something. And I'm 7 at the time.
Just based on the fact that he was on the show with Justin Bieber, it got huge exposure. It was global. We got calls from all over the world. On paper, I value Silly Clips at least at 7 digits, just conservatively.
Working with my parents you'd think it's be a little bit of a weird dynamic, but that's really how I grew up, so it's not weird to me.
He's smart. He pushes back on me hard, and he'll resist in every which way, and he'll complain, and he'll whine. I got to sit him down and say, look, kid, this is what it is. If you want this, then we have to do this.
Well, I'm always in the middle, absolutely. At any given time, you could be on a real upswing and people are getting along and everything else, and then it's like, what? It's like, what just happened?
There's been a few occasions early on in my relationship with Ethan, particularly during the launch of Silly Clips, where I actually threatened to quit. He would say, wow, my dad's going to quit. I'm going to have to find somebody else to do this. And reality sets in, like, I wasn't just his father at that point. Now I'm a manager that's going to quit.
There were days I didn't want to do it. After you've seen Silly Clips for a long time, it tricks with your mind, and you just think, get me away from this,
And there's times where he just won't want to do something. He'll do everything but what he's supposed to be doing. For example, when we were doing the Ellen Show, his name's on the door, right? It's about Silly Clips. It's not about his mom. It's not about me. It's about him. And he's starting to connect the dots, and he's thinking, hey, I'm the man. I think I'd like to jump on the couch now. It gets healthy, dysfunctional, crazy sometimes.
Homeschooling was never a decision. It was sort of, I was pregnant, and my husband and I looked at each other, and we just said, we're going to homeschool, right? Yeah, okay. All right, boom. Ethan is very involved in his own education,
yeah.
Which is how we've always wanted it. I think he's really grasped onto that
Giving
concept.
the fishing pole instead of the fish,
right.
Kind of.
When he was 5, I think he was 4.5, I made him learn his multiplication tables. If he was rolling through his 5s, let's say, and he got to 5 times 5 and he said it wrong, then I would make him start from 5 times 1 again. It's the tough love thing, because that's what is going to really happen in the real world. I see children, I just see them as adults with less experience.
He just turned 12. And I can really see and feel that fire in his belly to really recapture everything that he had built and really push it forward.
He's got to understand container sizes, gift box size, master container, pallet, truckload, what's the shipping cost going to be. He's got to know all of our line items.
I'd kind of like to, 30, 40 years later, I kind of want to have more businesses than Silly Clips. Of course, seeing Silly Clips still around. But when Silly Clips is over, it's over, and there's not much I can do about it, and I'll just have to keep moving on, because that's what an entrepreneur does.
100% is good. Let's do 110%, and that's a vice I would put him in. I would put him in a tight vice on that, and I wouldn't let him out until he's created something that he can be proud of.